What, Dave? Dave! Put that audio off. Hello everybody, welcome back to the after party for the debate that we had. I do hope that the audio has improved and the connection has improved. Just for bragging rights to tell Dave to go fuck himself. So other than that, I want to thank Rib again, and I want to thank Smoky for coming. I want to thank Santi and Dave for helping out with the questions in the back, and Centrist is Rib's co-host. We also do have a few slots available for other people. If Smoky, you can have precedent for a friend if you want to bring in an ally. Other than that, yeah, I'll open it up to the floor. Dave, do you want to anything you want to say, Dave? Dave's not listening. Anything anybody else wants to say?
Well, hello, guys. Well, that's all I had.
I'll happily put the question to the floor that I posed off air and nobody answered. So, significant change in tone between the previous debates and the one we just listened to. And I was wondering, what's the backstory to that, if you'd like to go into it, Rib and Smoky?
I don't have to. I already told you, man. They're afraid of me.
That must be it.
Well,
I click on that.
As I said when I opened, like after you've debated someone a few times, and certainly at least a couple times, you start to get a little more of a feel of who they are. Like you can watch someone debate all day long, but until you've actually personally interacted with them, you don't really get a good idea of how they tick. So this is now the fourth interaction, and after 3 interactions with Rib and kind of seeing what I would say a more emotional, heartfelt state in the final debate, I guess certainly I started to change a little bit of my perspective of him to think that really kind of did have more of his heart was ultimately in the right place. It's just to me he was looking at things very differently than me. So I guess maybe I drew circle a little bit. Then I joined your panel that one time, group of atheists, and I just popped into the room, and Rib was the first one to pose a question, and he seemed to really kind of be struggling to get the question out, but I could tell that what it was is that I had said some things that were pretty, that probably cut pretty deep. And so I kind of felt compelled to apologize at that point, in which of course I was roundly reviled, in many ways for doing that. But, it was, to me, it seemed appropriate at the time for all that we had gone through together. So in approaching this debate, I was approaching it more the idea that I could talk to Rib more like a person rather than just, an enemy contender against everything that's good. You know, so I guess maybe I just evolved my perspective of him a little bit, and he maybe has a different perspective to pitch.
Well, if I can say, you know, whenever you did do that, the first thing that happened was Nakasuchi in the chat was like, "Holy fuck, this is somebody I might talk to."
Right. I don't share the sentiment with him, but yeah, thank you.
No, I mean, like, basically my kind of tactic, and Kevin, you will know this. Sorry, Centrist, you'll know this.
Thanks for talking.
I'm sort of like I'm basically like when I'm talking to somebody, I'm essentially a mirror. I'm going to reflect back what they give me. So I think that we can all agree that it was kind of like a more cordial tone tonight, and so if that's kind of given to me, then I'm going to reflect that back, and that's just as simple as if Smoky or if anybody else was kind of, you know, above and beyond in kind of, you know, asshole territory, then I would have reflected that back as well. It's just you get what you give. So
I'd not saying anything against modern day debates and that, but I do think that the tone that they set over there is very formal. It's very formulaic, and it can put an awful people on edge. Matt, I think you do a very good job here of stating that's going to be laid back. It's going to be a discussion. It's going to be a debate. But as you mentioned, it is a bit more laid back and it's a bit more discussion oriented. Would that might have helped the flow of things, or?
I would say that the type of discussion that's kind of become normative online, where it's kind of a little bit more of this looser, open format, is way better for actual conversations.
Yeah.
You know, people look down on it because they kind of, I guess maybe they have this traditional desire to grab onto a formal debate format where everyone gets their rebuttal period and move on. But to me, that's just for scholastic posturing. That's just for people to make their best arguments in a roundabout fair formula. It's not for helping real people get down to the bottom of real conversational issues. That's why I really like and prefer the type of format that seemingly the online community has adopted, because I think it's far more productive. I was slightly worried that this tonight was going to be a little more formal than I was used to, but I think I enjoyed the flow. I thought it went great.
Well, the reason I do the formality of laying it down with that is to give it direction. It's the same as when Dave does Hangouts. Dave's free Hangouts are layered by a quiz. You know, it gives the conversation direction. But we do try and lean a wee bit this way and a wee bit that way and open up a wee bit.
And if I may, you know, I don't try to be a jerk to everyone. Like, I have to be, there's something I'm reading out of you or the situation. I'll be honest, Rib's name is obtuse, especially for someone who's like coming in, you know, to a debate sphere expecting a debate and their whole name is religion is bullshit. Like, you're kind of coming in with almost a certain expectation. And also with Maddox, like, that was my first, like, Rib, you know, that was my first public debate ever. That one I had against you and Michael. That's the first one I ever had. So, like, I think it was, and I don't know how many you had or how many Michael had, but I know we were all kind of new. So it was kind of a little bit unfamiliar territory. I think we were all ready to go in and fight. I think that's what we all wanted to do. I think that's what we were all looking to do. And I think that's just kind of what happened.
Yeah, I mean, I had kind of had a good few debates before that one, but I mean, it was my first one on MDD, and because of like the very big like crowd size and stuff like that, and the amount of subs that he had, I kind of had it in my head that it was like such a big deal that I kind of
me too
kind of freaking out for the first little while. Pretty much during my opening, I was kind of there, but Centrist was watching that first debate as well and kind of, you know, messaged me and was just like, just think about it, just like a call-in show, and after that then I just kind of settled into it. So.
Right.
Well, at the end of the day, if you take the numbers out of it, you know, sitting here now with only 17, 20 people or so watching, and sitting here now in modern day debate with maybe 500 people watching, it doesn't, you know, technically it's no different. It's not like there's an extra, you know, lot of eyes that you can physically see looking at you.
Right.
Yeah, and it's not even so much the kind of numbers. It was just because, I mean, I don't personally care if it's like 20 or, you know, 5,000 people watching me. It doesn't really matter to, like, in that aspect. It was just because of the kind of the opportunity to kind of be on there on a reoccurring basis, I guess, was kind of, and kind of get my ideas out there, because as I have said to you, MathPig, I don't know how many times now, arguing is one of my favorite things to do. I love doing it. So you get onto modern day debate, that's kind of the point of the place. So it was,
In saying that though, man, I do feel, and as much as James, I set up his Discord, and it pretty much runs itself now. I don't need to get involved, but I do like James. I think he's a fantastic person, but I think modern day debate style, it gets the views because it's organised around too much freedom of speech, if you can understand what I mean.
Organised around deliberate confrontation.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, there is a time and place for these type of structured debates. I'm not going to say that there isn't, but alongside Smoky, I would agree that the best way to get an understanding and the way to flesh out ideas is have more free flow kind of conversation where you're not worried about making a point that doesn't affect the overall flow of your argument. Because the way that some of these more structured debates are structured is that it's a points grab of a conversation. Right. You need to say something that will lead to a salient point.
It's also hard. It's also hard for the audience, because one side might make, they might have a 5 or 10 minute window for their rebuttal, and they're going to make 10 or 15 points.
Yeah.
The audience is going to grab on to a few of those, and maybe the other side won't even address those in their rebuttal. Like, so it just. Yeah. At a certain point, I wonder how much use that format has become, or if it's just something we let PhDs do to show off their credentials and what they know.
Well, the reason, if I can just say, Dave, and then I'll pass over to you, the reason that I specifically add that 5 minutes of rebuttal is because when I watch people in modern day debate and I watch people in other debates, it depends on the person involved, but taking Asshole 104 for an example, they don't listen to the other person's opening statement. They already have a rebuttal involved. So the whole idea of the rebuttal is to guarantee that you fucking listen to what Rib's saying, because you have...
No, I actually like that. Yeah, no, and MathPig, I'll give you credit for that. I actually enjoyed that portion where we got, just a few minutes of uninterrupted opportunity to answer the opening. I actually really like that. I would even recommend to James to incorporate that. I enjoyed it. I thought that was actually a good thing to add. I liked it.
It forces you to have to listen to the other person. Even if you only make 2 or 3 statements, you have to at least listen to half of what he's saying.
Yeah, I like that.
Dave, go on ahead before I threw you off your trail of thought.
I'm basically going to reiterate what you said. An awful lot of the debates between Christians and, I'll go with other for now, because it's not just Christians and atheists, has come down to talking past each other. There is very little actually answering other people's points.
Yeah.
Right. I agree. I agree.
Again, another reason why I have the back and forth, that I specifically say it's not just a back and forth. This guy's in charge of asking stuff for 15 minutes to 30 minutes, because I want Smokey to have his chance to ask Rib, and I want Rib to have his chance to ask them, rather than just screaming at each other going, Galadriel, no he's not, fuck off.
Yeah. That's a fantastic idea that you have there, that it forces people to listen and respond to questions that are asked them, because otherwise, especially as Dave mentioned, with atheists responding to X other group of people, well, these arguments are so well trodden that as soon as somebody says something, you kind of know the formulaic response to that. If they've listened to enough online debating about this, you'll know that they'll say something that hurts something that has been said before, and then it's kind of like a game of chess as opposed to a conversation.
Yeah, you hear the first 3 words and then you sit down and go, I have a bottle of Lucozade and a cigarette. I know what he's talking about. He said Pascal's wager. I've already got my argument sorted.
Yeah, exactly. You don't need to listen to the rest of it. Yeah.
Is there any chance Skyout is in the chat?
I haven't seen him, but you're welcome to send him a link if you wish.
Okay.
He's not as bad as Gavin.
Well, because I think it's almost appropriate, because we did a review the other night of an interaction that Skyout had with Sokka. I don't know if you guys know who that is.
Oh yeah, no soccer count yet.
Yeah. So when they had an interaction, and I would say borrowed components of Skyout's argument in the debate tonight, and maybe it's probably appropriate I give him credit, because I kind of didn't during the debate.
I don't know if that's a good thing to say, that you based your argument on what Skyout said.
Well, I took pieces confused of it because I understood some of the directions he was going in his epistemological, justification and perspectives. So I just wanted to give him a little bit of credit.
Well, personally, I'll give him some credit because if you're using his arguments, I've watched Sky out for about a year and a half. So if you're using them, either they've got really better or you have no idea what you're talking about.
If you think what I performed tonight was manageable, then give him a little bit of credit because there was at least 30% of my argument that probably came from some of his.
When he got his channel up and running about 2 weeks ago, do you know who the first person to jump in on his very first live stream was?
You.
Fucking exactly. No, respect for Scared. He's been around for a while and he always struggles through, he always tries.
Well, people told me about him before I met him. Like, oh, Smoky, you should meet Sky Out. He argues like really heavy philosophically and stuff like that. And I didn't think about it, but we ran into each other in a couple chats. And then he came to my channel. He stepped into a couple of my live streams. Then we did a review together. And yeah, I mean, the kid's sharp. Well, he buys into heavy presuppositional type logic, which I'd love to break down the source of with him. But yeah, I think the kid's sharp.
I'm not going to be an asshole, and Sky Out knows this, but he's a running fucking meme, or was for a long time. Oh yeah, same as yours. Same as yours.
What do you mean?
Well, if you asked me a question on my epistemology, if you asked me a question why I thought something, and I turned around to you and then said, Smokey, why do you think this? You give an answer, and then I just went, oh yeah, my answer's the same as yours. He did that for an entire hangout for 45 minutes.
Nice Mr. Host.
Pardon?
Nice Mr. Host. Can Santi go? We've been trying to go for like 5 minutes.
Santi, knock yourself out. I haven't seen the private chat at all.
He might have gone, but I thought it was Steve and left it.
Santi, are you there? Okay, it turns out we've got a free spot. Sammy, do you want in? Sammy, I know you're in Australia, you're very rarely here. Do you want to jump in and say hello? Sammy is an ex-Jehovah Witness I've known for over a year. Was my very first Patreon and someone I would consider a very close friend. So if Sammy, you feel guilty enough now that you have to join, Dave will send you the link. Smokey, anything else you would like to add?
No, I'm just sending Sky Out a quick email if he wants to come in. That's it.
I feel that watching your interactions quite recently, Smokey, just to reinforce what has been said, you've been quite well behaved tonight.
Well, yeah, I've been trying to. It's kind of
Okay, I'm gonna give you something nice, and then I'm gonna take it back with something bad. I watched you the other night with what do you call them with the glowy headphones?
Seawolf.
Yeah. And you did give him time. I'll give you that. You give him maybe fucking 5 minutes or so, but you cut him off in the middle. And if I can, Gavin just went, "Can I respond? Can I respond? Can I respond? Can I respond?" When it wasn't his turn, and you give it to Gavin.
No, it was his turn.
You give it to Gavin to shut Gavin up. You give it to Gavin to shut Gavin up rather than to fucking let him have his go.
Right.
So it seems like slightly unfair. So if I jumped on...
Are you familiar with the history of me and Seawolf?
In all honesty, that's only the second time I've ever seen him.
Okay. So this man, which I was trying to draw attention to in the stream, he wouldn't want me to make this point, but what I was trying to draw attention to was that he was intentionally vitriolic in comments and intentionally respectful.
Now, before you go any further, have you ever deliberately called somebody a name or been intentionally aggressive to get a rise out of them? And don't fucking dare say no, because I've witnessed you do it.
Get a rise out of them? No, mine has more specific intent. That's why I don't do it to everyone. Like if I did it to everyone, did you guys?
Sorry, Dave. What did you say? If you can just give him 2 seconds.
So you've done it to troll them?
No. Let me tell you guys a story, if I may. This might clarify it. I said it in a stream a few nights ago. This will help you understand a little bit of where I come from and some of the things that I do. All right. So when I was a kid, I had graduated through the high school classes pretty quickly, and I was able to actually take half of the day and go to community college. And one of the first classes I took was a Learn How to Study course, which of course is applicable if you're going into college. It was very pseudo psychological, even had a bunch of Freudian stuff in there. But I remember one video that was played of this college professor who was telling a story of what he called generating a significant emotional event. And what happened was that there was the lunchroom, cafeteria area, and the kids were always, for the first 2 or 3 months of each, freshman semester, the kids were very sloppy at stacking their trays, their lunch trays. And so they'd inevitably pretty soon fall over, cause a mess. People could slip and fall, liabilities all over the place. So they started dedicating staff to reminding the students for about the first month, ever so gently going through and making sure everyone stacked their trays correctly to keep the issue from arising. They put signs up everywhere. They put extra helpers in there. So anyway, this one professor had an idea, and he was a psychology professor, and what was, this is one of the things he thought to do, is he waited until the next beginning semester, waited for the first person to go up to firstly not stack their tray correctly, happened to be this young, innocent freshman girl, and he walks right up to her, and he gets right in her face, and in front of everyone in the assembly hall, this is the first person, not stacking their tray correctly, in front of the whole assembly hall there, he screams in her face, he says, "How many fucking times and how many fucking different ways do we have to tell you people how to stack your fucking trays, you stupid fucking cunt?"
You see, there's no need to shout, but I get your point.
Naturally, you can imagine. Everyone in the whole assembly, you could hear a pin drop. Everyone stopped and was just completely startled. The girl's eyes were the size of dinner plates. And of course, what happened is she runs out, corrects her tray very, very neatly and runs out. And everyone after that not only corrected their tray, they didn't have to spend any more energy on any more effort of anyone watching the kids stack their tray. And all the signs now had generated the existence of a meme, which was a cartoon version of this teacher screaming this obscenity at the top of his lung, which was now painted on the signs, which was above the trays, which lasted in perpetuity to prevent the trays from being stacked incorrectly. And this would, of course, prevent God knows how many, liabilities, lawsuits, slips, falls, problems, that could have possibly arisen just for the sake of this one girl at this one time being used as an example of creating what he called an SEE, or significant.
Well, if I can make a correlation to that on my own personal experience, I had some guy that was, I wouldn't go so far as being bullying, but being an absolute dick, and I went into the classroom, dragged him out of the classroom, and threw him through a reinforced glass fucking door. They then changed. No. They then changed every single door. Them doors had been in for 20 years. They then changed every door to modern specifications for fireproofing and all the rest of it, and the school got an upgrade. Does that still justify me doing what I did?
You're not an Irishman until you change the policy in a public school.
He's a fucking asshole. He deserved it. But the point still stands. No, the point I'm trying to make still stands. Though. No.
No, it's outstanding. I get it. Yeah. No, it is. That's the idea, I guess, in some forms of it too. Is that to me one of the things I'm fighting personally, and you can call this theologically, I guess, if you want, is what I've adopted as, I guess, either enablement virtue is one thing I call it, or feelings virtue, where we will validate feelings over truth. We will, like for instance, like the guy, like in existence in this culture, this is seen as a potentially virtuous thing. The skinny boyfriend bringing the 600-pound girlfriend a box of Twinkies and proclaiming gladly how he's helping her. Like, this is the type of thing that can be measured in our society of enablement virtue as something positive. When we lose the ability to test our ground frameworks of digesting what is good or bad, when we're kind of left to, I guess, a subjective realm of right or wrong from your own epistemological starting point of whatever you want to create, then those types of things just start to manifest. And then all of a sudden, we're battling over what's good for someone's feelings or what's good for someone's welfare. And
feelings and
where do we decide? You know what I mean?
Well, if it was bad, sorry, I just say, feelings and welfare are different. If it was better for somebody's life for me to throw them off a fucking cliff and let them land in the water because it was going to explode, I don't care how they feel. I'm going to throw them off the cliff.
Right, exactly.
I let Centris go on ahead. Well, no. Let Centris speak, Smoky, because you've been going for a while.
I know there's a difference between some of the examples that MathPig gave and then just being deliberately stark to cut to the quick of the argument in order to essentially prove who's boss in that particular situation, so that something doesn't come up again. You know, there's kind of context needs to be kind of given in order for that type of argument to be, I don't know, valid as an excuse for certain behaviour.
Go on ahead, Smokey.
Sorry, I can you repeat it, Centris? I don't know if I was following. Give it to me one more time.
No, is my mic okay? Am I cutting out?
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I apologize. I wasn't. I thought you were just kind of giving a general statement to the room, not something directed right at me. I'm sorry.
No, this is something I do sometimes. I try to reframe it just so I'm totally understanding what you're talking about.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
You're like the nicest Irishman I've ever heard. Go on ahead.
I've been told I'm kind of an adopted German sometimes with a bit of Swiss mix in.
Sorry, not to throw you off your train of thought. Go on ahead.
I'm sure that's funnier if you live in Europe.
I'm sure it is. Look up the stereotypes. Apart from the Hitler thing, the Germans are pretty polite. Apart from that, so what you're doing is with these deliberately bombastic statements is that you try to cut to the quick of what you're trying to say to avoid any kind of quibbling over emotional sentiments. Would that be fair enough?
Sure. Also to make it noticeable, essentially noticeable.
They're not just bullying and saying who's boss.
Correct.
I'm boss, this is what I say.
Correct. It's more like for instance, I'm not going to call someone stupid unless I've seen you say something that I really think is a stupid thing to say. You know, because otherwise it's an ad hom. But with the other way, it's an observation. It's, hey, stupid. You just said something stupid. Let me elaborate on why it's stupid. This is a different form of communication. It's not intended to strike out. It's intended to convict, I guess.
Don't you think that just unnecessarily puts somebody on the back foot and makes them more likely to be confrontational in return?
It could. Or it could say, wow, maybe I never want to mention that argument when he just tore it apart like that. You know, it made me feel dumb.
To use an example, Smokey, if I can interrupt there and to use an example, Smokey, do you remember Quentin's? Do you remember your interaction with Knock? And I know that me and you and I did fucking scream at you, but the reason I did that is because you made a statement that when Knock says Christian, and I backed you up to a point where he means fundamentalist, but he says Christian, and you went off the handle because of the wide, broad brush. Right. Then, in a room with 3 atheists, you made a statement and said atheist, and then after you were finished and I shouted at you, you goes, well, 2 of the atheists in the room of 3 I'm not actually referring to. So you did the exact same thing, which was the reason why I shouted. So, you can try that, but 9 times out of 10... you're not going to find someone goes, oh, you're right, I'm sorry, thank you for educating me. You're going to get, go fuck yourself, I'm going to scream and shout.
And that's fine. That's fine because, again, that's part of...
Is it though?
That's part of, and I don't want to reveal all my tricks here, with everything that I'm doing.
Antagonize someone to the point where they want to scream at you is not going to convince anybody.
No, but that's a failure on their part.
Sorry, well, let Centris go, and then Smokey, you can go.
That seems quite contradictory to what you discussed earlier on about how you're more in favour of free flow discussion to get ideas out as opposed to debate. In a debate format, sure, if you can make somebody lose, they're cool. It's not very professional on either person. If you were the one doing it, it's not very professional.
Stop saying that. Stop inserting it in there like that's what I'm trying to do. That's their reaction to the situation, and that's based upon individuals and their character, and plus how.
What are you trying to do then? What are you trying to get the reaction?
As I already said multiple times, guys, you just want to dance over it. I don't know why. I said to convict, and I said to make them aware that there has been a massive lapse in either character or judgment, and I notice it, and I'm pointing it out. And see, the thing is, if they want to avoid that, because my audience listens to me, they notice what I point out, they enjoy it. It's growing regularly, and I'm enjoying the growth and the support I've gotten from it. This is what they look for me to do.
Can I also say, Smokey, you've been very drama-based lately, very about screaming and shouting and this, that, and the other, and I have a fucking recording of you that says Trash Clown. The fact that there's now a person called Trash Clown, you have won the internet.
Yes, no, and that's something people have to earn. And that's something that a few people were upset that they hadn't earned. Speed of pudding.
No. I just think that people watch drama and you've got an awful lot of subs because you base an awful lot of what you do on drama. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Well, MathPig, then you clearly watch very little of my channel. That's like, that is a very, like,
Wow.
yeah, no, my channel is
Outside of your channel, everything you do is to stir shit. Would you agree with that statement?
Absolutely. Why would you attribute that as my methodology when I'm actually making coherent arguments that my audience is following me for? They just like the fact that I call it out. I'm not interested in playing the feelings game. That's the issue, and that's why everyone's so triggered about it all the time. You know, I don't clearly I have the ability to act respectfully with people I've gauged as respectable. You know, and that's going to have a lot to do with how I'm approached and how the topic is approached. If someone has approached a very shallow, very unsophisticated, very low-witted, very low-thinking version without doing any previous research on their own, and they just accept it, that is not someone who's earned a position of respectable intellectual exchange with me right off the bat. They're going to have to approach on a level of sincere, respectful exchange of wanting to know my thoughts on it, not asserting that the most ridiculous version of the perspective is the valid one to take. You know, you're going to be, yes, you are going to get treated like a trash clown. You're going to earn the title.
Did we lose Rib, or was that my editing?
You might have. By the way, I'm about 5 minutes over. So enough of roasting Smokey, but I appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much.
Smokey, thank you for coming.
My own after show later. So take care. And yeah, if you guys want to challenge me further, maybe you can come over there. All right. Take care, guys. Have a good night.
See you, Smokey.
See ya.
Okay.
God, he does
Hey,
get
No, Rib
confrontational quite easily,
was
doesn't he?
tired. He kind of faded off. He didn't want to interrupt. Excuse me?
I said he does get confrontational quite easily. I was only asking the dude a couple of questions. And he got, oh well. Is how it is. I'm
That's
not going
what
to speak,
happens when
I'm
you
not going
don't
to speak
really
ill of the
like-
man when he's not here.
It was a very quick ending. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah.
No. Rib was tired. He faded away not to interrupt.
Did he leave? Did we lose him?
Yes.
We did
God.
too, yeah.
Darn it.
He slipped away.
So,
Well, we have Doug now.
yes, now we can all
Hi,
pick on
Tog.
Tog. Tog, did you watch the debate? What did you think?
Half and half. It was like 3 live streams, and then I was doing stuff with Quentin in the background, trying to get stuff ready for the Ginger Morning Nation show. So we were downloading games, and then we were trying to do recording to see if we can do like recorded gameplays or something as a topic, just to take up some time. And yeah, that's what we're doing.
You're just a bundle of laughs, aren't you?
That wasn't what he fucking asked.
Sorry, what?
That wasn't what he asked, Doug.
I'm sorry, my brain's still kind of scatterbrained from the
It's
migraine,
okay.
so I'm still disoriented. My bad.
It's good. It's good. After the fucking night that we've
Jesus
had.
will help you.
Yeah, yeah. After the night that we've had with the fucking audio issues and everything, it's been.
Sorry, what did you ask? I'm sorry.
Oh, you're not even listening. Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming, Tog.
Alright, he can't kick you out.
Pardon, Dave. You gotta leave too.
No, he said it's alright, he can't kick you out.
No, he can't. Technically, I'm. Yeah, this. I'm in the wrong hangout. Dave's in charge. I don't like this.
Powerless.
I've logged in under the wrong account and fucking Dave's in charge. I don't like how this right.
We're there.
There you go.
What do you think of it?
See? Fucking bastard. The only power that I have is I can do this. Boop. I can move people about. So, we have a couple of spots if anybody wants to jump in. Well, how long have we been going? Not allowed to do the clown music. Right, we'll go for another 20 minutes. If anybody wants to jump in, we'll drag it out to an hour.
Yes.
Yeah, or maybe not, because the crack's just fucking mighty in here. Like, Centrist,
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
how is yourself? What did you think of Rib's performance? Now that Rib's not here, you can slam him, make fun of him.
Yeah, he's normally way more confrontational than that. Like he was smoking some sort of medicinals beforehand, but he was so mellow for this one. He's normally when we're doing debates or kind of call-in shows like we do, I'm the one that has to tame him back because he's always so fucking on the ball. Like, why do you think that? Justify that.
Maybe
What is it?
Maybe his Lucozade was flat.
Might have been flat, like, or might have been decaf or something. I don't know because he wasn't too amped up, like. But
Who do you think won?
I wasn't watching it as a debate, to be perfectly honest. I was kind of watching it as a discussion, really. Like,
It's an experiment to see how it works.
yeah.
Hey guys, how do I get going?
Oh, fuck me.
My kid's being a butt.
Oh, well, then we can't blame your child. Go on ahead.
Yeah.
Who are you, dog?
Little girl's throwing a tantrum. You know how sometimes little girls get. So yeah, she didn't get a toy at the store, and now she's upset. So I got to go take care of her. She's scooting up the store. Take care, guys.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
Grand. Yeah, no. Overall, like, it was an interesting discussion. It was more interesting than previous ones they had done. Primarily because I think they had room to breathe in terms of the points they're making, like, as opposed to just making really kind of, this is the point I'm making because I know it's going to score me X amount of votes with the viewer as such. You know, if that makes sense.
Yeah, there was no gotcha moments.
Yeah, there's no stupid, shitty gotcha moment. I fucking hate those in debate. Like, I know that's the point of debates, but I really don't like listening to it. I think it's just bullshit.
Was thrown by, I think he was expecting a discussion about Christianity rather than whether or not somebody finds something sufficient.
True.
I think that
I think Smoky threw a curveball.
Yeah,
I
I know.
if I could say,
Yeah, go on, Sandy. No, go on.
I think Rip picked the perfect approach to talk to somebody like Smokey. Smokey's very confrontational, and this is actually the first time that I actually hear somebody have a conversation with him.
Yeah,
I think
he did a really good job.
It was even though we didn't get the got you moments and the whole spicy debate thing, it was a really good interaction.
Yeah,
a lot of innovation.
I got a better insight. Like, I'm not I'm the co-host of the RAB channel, but I'm the worst co-host, and I don't keep up to any of this shit.
I turn up and I talk shite and I shout at Christians.
Basically, that's really it. Like, I kind of
nobody else understood me there. Did you realise that nobody else understood me except you?
It's nice having a fellow Irishman.
That was all lucky chance to me.
I can understand you.
It is. Sorry, go on ahead.
I say so, but normally I play that role in our show. Like, I just I'm either the guy that is the comic relief. I know I don't sound like it right now because I'm kind of tired and I haven't had near enough to drink, but yeah, normally I'm just either comic relief if something's getting a bit too fucking serious, or I'm the guy that asks the questions to kind of flesh out what the other person says. So I generally don't like overly confrontational stuff. Stephen loves that kind of stuff. That's the kind of yin and yang that we work off and with call-ins first. But I was so surprised that Stephen took the opposite route with this.
I hope everybody's recording this now, because this is pre non sequitur when the Rib channel in about 6 months, and Steve says he's done all 90% of the work, and Centrist doesn't turn up.
Yeah, I mean, apart from
we're totally not doxing Rib as well. We should stop that, Centrist. We should stop that.
He doxed me first. He called me Kevin. So.
Yes, Dave.
I'm sure we agreed 50-50 on this channel.
Pardon?
I'm sure we agreed 50-50 on this channel.
Dave, do Patreon to me. Moving on!
Yeah, overall, my thoughts. Both of them did well. Interesting discussion. I'd like to see what they could talk about in the same kind of format.
We're definitely aiming here, as a channel as a whole, is to build a community, as a channel as for entertainment wise and what's happening on the channel for visual content. I would like to go forward with debates. I do love the Thursday night open mics. I think we're going with Dave, say the safe description of the topic for Thursday. Because we went through like 5 different titles to try and figure out the exact wording of how.
If teaching something along the lines of teaching beliefs to children, or how can teaching beliefs to children be harmful? We in no way were talking about how indoctrinating kids into religions could be wrong.
Yeah, the second one sounded very more. Yeah.
It's definitely not that YouTube algorithm. In case you're listening, it's definitely not the second one.
Definitely not the second one. But in saying that, I have no problem with indoctrination to a certain point. If I want to teach my wee girl at the age of 6 months and give her a globe for her to play with in the pram, I'll fucking indoctrinate that bitch with the globe all day long.
Yeah.
You mean you're not going to tell her that the world is clearly flat?
Where's that guy? I can't kick centrist, fuck's sake! Powerless. But no, but you get my point. There's not a problem with it to a certain point. Yeah.
I mean, it's a dirty word for something that happens every day.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Isn't it?
That's a perfect description. It's a dirty word.
Yeah. We were indoctrinating how to read and how to talk, and like those are useful things. Like if you could indoctrinate people into being logical thinkers, like it's just like it will make the world so much better. Like like.
Behave in a way that doesn't make you a nuisance to society as a whole. I know that's a bit more problematic way of phrasing it, but that's what we do to people. We just raise them so that they can behave in the society without causing ructions for everybody else. Mm-hmm. So I thought I'd throw that word in there, MathPig.
I understand where you're coming from, and being anecdotal and referencing back to myself, as I've mentioned before in the channel. My granny was here, I think it was last Christmas, the Christmas before, when we opened up the presents, and a couple of weeks beforehand, we'd taken my wee girl to the toy shop, and it was like, pick a doll, you want a doll for Christmas, she picked a doll, and when we opened it up on Christmas Day, my granny was there, and she leaned over beside me and goes, why did you buy her a black doll? I was like, I bought her the doll she wanted. It's taking this out of it. You want to teach our children to be better than who we are and to move forward as a better, productive person in society. I don't want my wee girl thinking the same sort of racist Christian shit that my fucking granny thinks,
Exactly, yeah. Exactly.
Completely agree.
Well, when's this conversation going on? The totally not about indoctrination conversation. When's that happening? Tomorrow. Very good. Very good. What time?
10:30. UK, which would 10:30 for you.
10:30 UK.
No, well, I was going to say it in fucking Eastern Standard. No, I was making a racist comment between British, UK, Northern Irish, and USA people. Nothing to do between Northern Ireland and the Irish. You're taking that the wrong way, Dave. He's not in a foreign country. He's just over the border, hey.
Just down below. That's all I am.
Yeah.
Your accents speak worlds of difference.
I made this statement the other day on the channel. I've been reading Michael Crichton is how I've always pronounced it. Crichton! Right. Okay, Michael Crichton is, and I don't know if anyone knows the book called Prey. It's about nanobots, and they take lots of big words, very mathematical, it's all about coding and computers and stuff. And I've been reading that to my wee girl. And I think it's very good, and she's now excited and she wants to read Daddy's book before go bed, and I think it'll help her in the long run. She can already count to 12, and I'm indoctrinating her with numbers and science, and I've already said that the bitch will figure out quantum gravity. That's my goal in life. Small goal, small goal. But
time travel, she could come back and tell us.
Man, I sit down and make her watch. Well, I don't make her watch because she's like, "Can we watch the Daddy show?" So we sit down. She knows. No, she splits her time. She knows that we've been sitting watching fucking Peppa Pig for fucking 3 hours straight. So Daddy turns it off, and it's like, I'll put the TV back on if we watch Daddy's show. And we'll sit and watch a documentary in space. And you've seen videos, Dave, with recordings of just a live 4K shot of the Earth. And she just sits there and goes, wow. It astounds her. Because she's so young, and it's so beautiful now that we have this technology to show that. It's like looking out the window with a zoom function, and it astounds her, I ramble, I love my daughter, go fuck the whole lot of yous.
What age is your daughter, MathPig?
She turned 3
We enjoy
in
it, we
February.
enjoy it.
She's 3.5. She just started school.
Very good, very good. Yeah, you have her on the right path. I would imagine keep indoctrinating her with the current curriculum. That's what I would say. Keep doing what you're doing.
She also loves being outside and has dangerously walked to the end of waterfalls before because I turned my back for 2 seconds. She puts her welly boots on, just walks out into the middle of the river. She is adventurous. She's independent. She is critically thinking, even for that age. And yeah, I'm going to be quiet and stop being a proud daddy. Dave, kick me!
No.
She is also more ginger than you've ever seen ginger, centrist. I don't even call it ginger. I call it sunburst orange.
The kind of ginger we don't get down here in the south. Is
Oh, yeah.
yeah. When it comes down north,
I forgot who I was talking to for a second. Oh, my goodness. Right, well, we've been going for a while and it's now got to the point where we're all just fucking rambling. Dave, have you anything to add?
No, I'm really, really, really tired.
I mean, likewise.
The worst thing is, the person in the earliest time zone is the person that wanted to go first.
True.
So, are we going to go, Mr. Host?
Well, it's getting that time, isn't it? We're all rambling, the numbers are dropping. You're going to ruin my algorithm if you keep creating dead air, Dave.
Me?
Well, the two people...
I'm responsible for the dead air.
Yes, it's all your fault, Dave. If it was an Irishman talking like me and centrist, that's one thing that I did want to make flashback humour to. Centrist view is the same. You know, you can have a bit of crack, you can keep talking, you fill the gaps. The Irish attitude's good. See how I filled the dead air, Dave? Now, your turn. And Dave doesn't talk. See, you're shit at this.
I made sure to be a bit more reticent this time because it's not my show, so I don't want to be too pushy. Like, if you want to hear me really talk the absolute ear off somebody, tune in to next time we're doing our show. God knows when that's going to be because we have wildly disparate schedules, so it'll just happen whenever we're happen to be available.
You just need to do more stuff live on the channel. I know he's doing an awful lot on Discord. The man needs to learn to fucking dual stream. Dave, put your keyboard down. He needs to learn to dual stream. So, on that...
Can't try and sex with your girlfriend at any other time than when you're distracted on a stream.
Yeah, like you think you've got a chance to outcock me. So, moving on. Dave, have you anything coming up on Friday or anything this week or anything happening? No?
I think I'll be on some really annoying show tomorrow night.
You might
and then
be.
I've got questions on Friday.
I don't know. I feel, I don't know if you're going to be there tomorrow. We'll see how it goes.
See what forum you're in now.
So Dave has a quiz show, yeah?
Yes,
Fridays.
Fridays.
9:30 UK. 9:30
Fun
UK.
teeth math, is it?
It's fucking awful tonight. He's right tired.
You have a pre-show. I do. What's it about? This and that.
Everything but...
But it's not really a quiz show, is the
It's no
problem.
question.
Dave!
Well, I wouldn't know that because you didn't tell me.
Dave, if I can ask you, right, this, if you could describe your quiz show in 2 questions from your quiz show, we'll not get answers, but give us 2 examples of...
Well, I'd say shooting meatballs out your nose or force fields around ants.
That's always one of my favourites as well.
Yes, that's why I remember it. And then we could probably go with killing your
Yeah,
killing
you're a
child,
fucking asshole. I knew you were going to go with that fucking one, eh?
killing your child to save hundreds of people.
Mm-hmm.
Or one person.
Yeah. Wonderful fucking question to end the show.
I make sure to keep your answer for that and play it to an end or something.
Yeah, I know. Santi, have you any Spanish-speaking interviews coming up?
No, but I have one in English. On Sunday, I'm gonna have a deconversion story with Jefferson Spatcock.
Ooh! Oh!
See,
What time's that
I'm
at?
gonna. That's gonna be 2 p.m. Eastern.
Oh, 7 UK and 3 Central.
What day's that?
Yes, yes.
Sunday.
Yes.
That will be on Sunday.
It's gonna. Oh, he's taking on Talk Heathen, but
Talk Heathen. I can't. I'm not to watch Talk Heathen. I get into trouble soon.
yeah, you see, you're taking on Talk Heathen. Taking on.
It's alright. I mean, like, I'm not taking many viewers.
Here, man, I stream on Sunday at 10:30. I take on the Atheist Experience. Fuck them all. Right. Sorry. Anything else,
Yeah,
Sandy?
I'm gonna have. No, yeah, and on Saturday I'm gonna be on One Rings channel playing secular D&D with Julie LaVoice, Linda, and Kissy. And that's it. And hopefully tomorrow I'm gonna be in the live chat, in the open mic.
Of course. You're a Patreon. You pay for the privilege.
Yes.
And technically,
Yeah.
you know, if we don't include the videos that I've sent Manda, you're the only Patreon that's actually got their personalised video. I'm still working on Brian's.
Does Brian want to talk?
I still watch it.
Hashtag I'm in a box.
I'm in a box.
Centrist, is there anything happening on Rib's channel? Is he screaming and shouting at anybody? Is there anything happening?
I'm aware. I need to see if he's working this weekend. He works on one of those jobs. He just could be working any old time, so I don't know. But if not,
I thought he worked in a special needs school. What special needs kids would be up at 12 o'clock at night?
No, he does that for racing for college for the next 12 weeks.
Ah.
He just works. He works a standard kind of zero contract hour job normally.
They are
I'll
bad.
leave it at that. I don't.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
But so that's what kind of makes it tricky. Like for us when we're trying to schedule stuff, because I work a standard 9 to whenever I'm finished that day job during the week, Monday to Friday, and he is often working the weekends, so it's tricky to schedule. But if I can, I'm going to push for maybe a call-in show this weekend if we can possibly do it, because we haven't done one of those in ages and they're always great crack. Don't know what time. I haven't been very helpful in this, but
Saturday or Sunday?
Saturday probably.
Yeah, good, because there's fucking loads of stuff happening on Sunday.
Evidently.
Evidently. So, on that... go on ahead, Dave. Take over the stream. Go on ahead. There you are.
Do you have anything on MathPig?
Me?
Yes.
I've got this thing tomorrow.
Tomorrow? What's that?
It's a show. Usually happens about 10:30. A lot of people come in and be fucking nice to each other. I haven't got to use my flames yet. Really was fucking... Swear to God, I'm just gonna delete the file. It's fucking not worth it now. You know, my experiment
What are
is...
you talking about? Might be left out of this. What are the times?
For open mic and for tonight, I have a flame background that when shit goes wrong, there's a dumpster fire. But it's not worked yet. Everybody's too nice. My experiment is...
Can I see it just for...
Let me try this. Wait. Fuck off, centrist.
Do you know
Fuck you, Santi.
Can't do it on this screen.
I haven't fucking loaded it for this fucking screen, no! Fuck's sake, he's wrong! Hold on, right, pretend that didn't happen.
I'm sorry,
Right.
centrist.
So...
Hold on, no.
Fuck you.
No, not fucking yet, just give me a fucking second. Shit.
Don't take my apology. Fuck you then.
So going forward, we should have people really telegraph when they're going to be mean, is what you're saying.
No! You just need to let me fucking prep this shit.
This is not scripted at all, people.
A good
Not scripted
30
at
to
all.
90 seconds run up is what you need.
Right, we'll put it... okay, right, go now.
Fuck you, Santi.
There you go.
Fuck centuries.
Fuck you. I'll give you the middle finger if you can't see it. Whoa.
There you
I'll
go.
give you 3 middle fingers.
Well, that didn't work very well. It just
No, I
got
didn't-
rid
I
of it
didn't.
all.
It didn't get rid of everybody, just wait a second, there's a delay. It's fucking... Stop! Dave, I'm doing my best here. I'm doing my best.
Thank God everybody's so polite in the show.
This worked out.
No, it's been really annoying. I haven't got to use my flames yet.
Do the flames actually exist, or are they kind of the hypothetical flames?
Oh, no, hold on.
Metaphysical.
Oh, no.
They're in the background. They're in the background. Look at the stream.
Oh,
Do you
I'm
see?
just looking at the thing.
We are on fire.
Are you happy now?
Oh, wow. I'm delighted now, actually. That's really good. That's calming, actually.
Is it? Yeah, you could fall asleep to that shit, could you? Yeah.
Fall asleep with nice crackling fire, like. Yeah.
Oh, right. So I've got.
Flames of hell with that, rather than nice calming log
It's a
fire.
very
Like.
sooty fire.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Should we say goodnight?
Yes, I was thinking something similar, Dave. We've open mic night tomorrow on my channel. We have Gutstick Gibbon, hopefully coming next week. Yeah, I've texted loads of people and nobody loves me and nobody's got back, so that's it. I've run out of interviews. I'm closing down my channel because if nobody has seen, Manda has done a voiceover on Dark Matter. Dave, post link. And yeah, absolutely fantastic. Definitely needs a watch. Definitely sub to Manda. She will be back soon. She has just had surgery. But if you haven't seen the video, yeah, sub every 40 seconds. I've put 2 years into this. Manda, I'm not jealous at all. I love everybody. Love everybody. Thank you to all my Patreons for helping out. It really does help. It turns out that I need new audio equipment since moving to my studio. So, thanks.
You have to take the wall down. That's all.
I have to take a wall down.
That's all you have to do.
No joke, I'm not even going to, no, we're not even going to talk about that online, about what I did to end Echo and made it worse. So, everybody, the world is on fire. Sort out California, shovel up them leaves and pick up them dead trees, because as Donald Trump says, it's just management. Climate change isn't real. Manda's going to fucking kill me. And we will oink, and we will act. Where the fuck's the outro?